Hey everyone, welcome to my video for the Koper World Cup. Pretty much straight after the Arca Rockmaster we came here to Slovenia. We're staying just near Ljubljana, which is the capital of Slovenia, and we're here for a bit of training before the World Cup begins, a bit of research and stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to showing you the Koper World Cup and this bit of training. It's my first ever time in Slovenia. It's a pretty small country, and we're here at one of the famous landmarks. It's the castle, and there's a great view of the whole of Ljubljana behind us. So it's been a great few days exploring, doing some training, had some good sessions with some cool people, and yeah, it's been just so good to see the Slovenian training culture almost, and how they all sort of train and get on, which has really been great to see. One of the greatest things about going to all of these cool countries for these competitions is just going and exploring the places. All of these places and different cultures we get to explore is just, I'm so grateful for. Even just here in Slovenia, in the center of Ljubljana, there's a really nice square where the river flows through. There's loads of restaurants that we've been going to after training and stuff. It's just been so nice to explore. One of my biggest recommendations would be Pop's Burgers, right in the center of Ljubljana. Probably the greatest burgers I've ever had. Like perfectly hits the spot after training. So yeah, a lot of nice places to visit. Yeah, come here if you can. My time here in Slovenia training has been really insightful. It's great to see how the Slovenians train. A lot of it is done on spray walls, which is pretty different to what I'm used to. A lot of the time I go to like Innsbruck to get my training in on routes and stuff, but it's really cool to see how they're able to take a spray wall and become almost so familiar with that spray wall they can train perfectly on it. Just watching them create circuits and then memorizing them instantly and being able to go around and get really efficient training just from a small spray wall is really cool to see, and it's something I've been wanting to research for a lot. So coming here and seeing them in their kind of home training environment has been really insightful. One of the big things this season has been learning, whether that's training on different sorts of boulders, getting on the right lead routes, or whether that's just trying to make a plan on how you're going to train in the future. So going to all of these countries and picking up all of these new bits of information. For example, here in Slovenia, I've learned about how efficient it is to train on the spray wall sometimes and how that can be integrated into my training. So learning all of these things is so important, and I'm definitely going to take away some of the things I've learned here and try and adapt that into my training to make my training as efficient as it can be, because that's the real goal, is to get efficient in training and then apply that into the competitions. And it's just been incredible. I don't actually have that much footage, because sometimes when you go to these places you just want to go and train and you don't really think about all of that. But the training was so good. I put in some good sessions, got my forearms nice and boxed ready for the Koper World Cup. And yeah, that's where we're off to now. We're off to Koper. I can't wait for this competition. Looking at it last year, it just looked insane. Koper's a really cool place. It's by the beach, a load of beach cafes. It just looks so cool. The crowd looked awesome, and yeah, it's going to be a great competition. It's felt like a long time since I've been in competition. It's been a lot of training, a bit of rest, but I'm really feeling ready to go. I'm recovered. I've put in some good training, good days here in Slovenia, and I absolutely can't wait. It's just an hour away, a quick drive. So we're going to head there now, and yeah, let's go. Bring on Koper. I can't wait. Just arrived in Koper, and wow, this view is absolutely incredible. I didn't know what to expect coming here. I've heard it's a really nice place, but just walking out of the hotel and then being hit with this insane view, I'm just so psyched to be here. What a place for a competition. I can't wait for it to get started. And yeah, it's like views like these which just make the season so much better. I'm not normally one for like going around all these and doing a load of tourism. I'm kind of like, oh, it's cool, but whatever. But this, I can appreciate a good view. Morning coffee in Koper. Very nice view, very nice coffee. What more could you want? Just got my bag ready. It's the evening, pretty chilled day, nice and relaxed. Technical meeting has just happened earlier where we got the routes, so now it's time to sit in my bed, chill out, go through the routes, prepare myself for tomorrow. Yeah, the routes look really good. I'm really excited, and yeah, now it's time to rest up. There's nothing else that can be done. Just gotta get a good night's sleep and go out there and crush it. So we're here back in the hotel. I've just finished my qualification round. And yeah, it was an eventful day. We woke up, went down for breakfast quite early, 7 a.m, and then headed straight for warm-up. I was climbing at around 17th on my first route, so went to warm up, chilled out, did some like easy stuff, and then had a look at the first couple climbers on the route. And I had quite a mixed qualification actually. Yeah, very, very eventful, which is not the word you want when you're it's not the word you want when you're trying to get for a qualification. You want it to be as smooth and as professional as possible, but this definitely wasn't. I guess it was kind of professional if you think about it. But yeah, my first route, I fell really low. There was a jump on like 4th clip. It was big jump out left, and then you just continue on with that momentum and then go on to the next hold. I didn't do that. I'm actually it's a bit different because normally I would fall, I would hesitate, I would get there, I would hesitate, and I'll go for the move and then I would spin off or something. But this time I actually got there and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna send this move, I'm gonna get this. And then I went for the move, really confident. I stuck the hold and I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling good, and then pulled straight up, and then I was like, and then I was just off the wall. I pulled way too hard, went with too much momentum, almost committed for the move too much. Maybe I was trying to learn from some past mistakes where I've not fully committed for these dynamic moves, and then I've got there and I've gone, yeah, I'm going to commit for this, I'm going to send this. It's not going to be another one of these hard luck stories. Get there, fully go for it, and then I just spin off the wall, went too much. Coming off my first route, it's best to immediately try and bounce back from that and then set your sights on the second route. But it's so hard to do that. You come down and you're like, oh, if only I could just go up there and change it. Because I know if I got through that dyno, then I would have had a very good chance of topping or getting very high up. So that's the hard thing, is to take that and then not let that affect your second route. But when I came down off that first route, I was a bit, yeah, I was frustrated. I had to go away. I had a bit of a chat with my dad, kind of got myself mentally prepared for the second route, and then came out and then executed. So it's good to have that quick turnaround, which is so important to do in these competitions, because it's about how you learn. What I did, I basically took myself out of that competition environment, went to like a coffee shop a couple 100 meters away, sat down, chilled out, went through the route, and then got myself prepared for the next route, and then came back into the venue with a completely different mindset of, right, I've got a route to climb, I'm going to go do my process and then get on that route and then execute. And I was able to do that, which I'm really happy with. Having messed up my qualifier 1, it basically made the second qualification into a semi-final, because when you get into a semi-final route, if you make any mistake anywhere low down, that's your only chance. If you fall off low down, then you're going to come quite far down the field. So that's pretty much the situation I was in with this second qualifier. I had to come out and execute it like it was a semi-final, and really just perform on that one route, because that was my only qualifying route basically. So I've just done a semi-final basically, and then another semi-final to come. So yeah, 2 semi-finals. I topped my first semi-final, so hopefully I can top the second semi-final. Turned out that the first route was actually the second route which I was starting on was actually a lot harder than the first route, and by the time I went to climb my next route, it turned out that route had a lot of tops, and it was the easier route. So getting onto that route, I had to top it, otherwise I wasn't going to be in semi-finals. So that's so much pressure to know you have to top a route, otherwise you're not going to be in. And with this route also having 2 jumps on it, I was sat there thinking, oh god, I just got to get on this route and just climb it, not overcomplicate it in my head, and just get on it and then just go for it. And yeah, I'm really happy I was able to top my second qualification route and get myself into semi-finals in 18th place. I got on the route, I was climbing it a bit more steadily, I was climbing it with a bit of nerves, which is I guess completely natural after falling off so low on the other route, but I'm really happy I was able to keep my head together, and I was hanging around on a lot of those moves, which I didn't need to be. I think I was on this black hold messing with the clip for like 30 seconds, so I'm happy that I had the endurance to be able to hang around there and then go through the route really steadily. And yeah, finishing in 18th place, I think. Really happy with my second route. It's a totally different challenge to not have a good first route and then keep your head and then go through to the second route and then fully execute. So I'm happy. That's some more experience in the bag. I do go on about experience a lot, but and you wonder when is this experience actually going to help me. But yeah, all of this is experience in the bag, and I'm really happy to get through the qualifications, and I'm looking forward to the semi-final. Hopefully it's going to be a nice route. It's going to be big crowd, hopefully late at night, 8 p.m. I think it starts. Should be in the shade by then. Yeah, I'm just really excited for the semi-final because I just love fighting on hard lead routes. So yeah, gonna chill out now, go get something to eat, head down, semi-finals, bring it on. Headed down to ISO, really psyched to just get going. I've got a really refined process in there now, so I go in there, I know what I'm doing, it's totally chilled, and it's kind of like I'm just going in for a little climbing session, so it's really nice. So yeah, went into ISO, and then it was time for observation. Coming out to look at the route, it looked like a really hard power endurance route, which had quite a standout crux in the middle as like a campus down. You could see that from observation. You could see that was clearly one of the harder moves in the route, and man, it definitely held itself to that standard. It was a very hard move, like dead center in the route, like really hard. It had a lot of falls there, so to get there and to get through it was just, I was really happy with. I got there, I did the campus down, and then this next move is a move to a blocked hold. It's like completely blocked, so you have to campus and then be really accurate at the same time, which is not what you want to have to do like halfway up a lead route. So a lot of people dropped off there, but I got there, I hesitated a bit, which isn't the best thing to do, but a lot of other people were doing that. It's so like sketchy when you're in that position. And in the end, I just went for it. I caught it, really happy. And then I gave a really good fight, like higher in the route. I'm happy with how I climbed and managed to recover after that little hiccup in the middle. Going through those purple holds, which I'd never climbed on those holds before. So it's really interesting to experience climbing on them for the first time. They're actually pretty grippy, but yeah, fighting through those purples and managing to recover, shake out, get a bit more, go for the next move. Yeah, it just felt amazing. So really happy I was able to get myself into the finals, going through in second position. Given the format, it was qualification and semi-final on the same day. So, and then the next day, the finals are in the evening. So you do your qualies and semis, and then the next day there's a long wait, anticipation going up until the finals. So woke up, had a pretty chilled day, didn't do much, sipped on some coffee, usual stuff. You don't want to do anything too strenuous. It's also really hot here in Koper, like 30-35 degrees, so you can't be out in the sun for too long because it just drains you. So it's a nice day of chilling out, and then it was time to head down for isolation. Going down to the finals ISO, me and my dad had a bit of a chat. It was about really trying to execute on lead routes. I found this season there's definitely been times where I could have benefited from being more decisive and executing on like hard moves, because hanging around just absolutely drains you, and that's something I want to improve on. I want to get on these routes and then just be confident and go for it. And whether that's a bit more risky, it's just part of it. But yeah, I wanted to really get on this route and then go for the moves and execute. So that was the aim going into the finals. I wanted to go in there and then just go with full confidence. In my mind, it was better to go off falling for a jump and then giving it 100% than to try and do it statically or something. So this comp was really going to be a bit like a learning thing. Climbing in front of these huge crowds, it's hard, like it can be hard. You've got thousands and thousands of people watching you try and climb up this route, and it's easy to just to overpull and seize up a bit and climb inside of a box. But what you got to do is just open up and forget about it and just go climbing. And that's the plan. It's my first season. It's all about learning. That's just so important. I don't want to be here and have a couple good results and then kind of taper off. I want to really try and get the maximum amount of myself. I want to be performing at the top. I want to, yeah, I just really want to start just pushing myself and be at the top of my game, and then give my best performance on every single route and boulder that I get on. So that's the plan. I'm going to go and train hard, and yeah, I'm really excited to see how I can improve. A whole day of chilling out, and then it was time for finals ISO. Headed down to the wall, pretty chilled out, grabbed a coffee before, went in. I've got my process down, like I said, in isolation. So go in there, I know what I'm doing, I do my warm-up, off the warm-up. I get on the wall, I start pulling a bit, and yeah, then it was time for observation. It's actually a bit different. We had to do like almost a little piece to the camera for the live stream, so I think I did something like that. I can't remember, but it's quite funny having to do stuff like that because I've never really been in that position before, and then watching it back was yeah, it was quite funny. So we did all of that camera sort of stuff, and then it was time for observation. Go out looking at the route, and there's quite a standout route. It's really crazy moves. There was like a big swing down jump on the fourth clip, and then the rest of it just looked really sustained and pinchy and just power endurance-y. So it looked like a really cool route, and I was excited to give a good go on it. But that jump, it's almost good. I was almost happy that there was a jump on fourth clip because it's something I need to practice. Getting there and then just going for it is important. So that was what was in my mind. As with everyone, when you got a move like that, everyone's always a bit like, but what you got to do is just forget about it and then just go with the flow. Looking at this route, it's easy to get trapped in your mind that I've had some previous experiences, like at the World Championships, there was a big lâché swing move that I fell off in the finals. So going into this competition and then having a fall in qualies, it's easy for that to let that get into your head and then start messing with you. But I almost wanted to come out in finals and then have there be a big jump at like low down at fourth clip, and then just go and then just nail it and then get my confidence back up on those moves. And that was the plan. So I saw it and I was like, yes, I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna go for it, I'm not gonna let this get to me. It's so easy. It's like a V4 move, but it's because it's fourth clip on a lead route and you only get one go and there's a whole crowd behind you. Suddenly all of these things start happening in your mind, but yeah, you just gotta forget about that and then just climb. The moves aren't really climbing moves, it's more of a mental test. So this move at fourth clip, none of us are actually thinking about, oh, that looks quite physically hard. It's just being there and then having to let go of the wall, which you don't really want to do when you're on a on a final route. Let go of the wall, go down onto a volley and bounce back up. There's a good few seconds there where you're not in contact with the wall. So yeah, it's more of a mental test than a physical one, and it's something we all have to deal with. And it's not something you can complain about and go, oh, so many jumps, it's all rubbish. It's part of competition climbing. It's what you got to deal with. Just like you would train your endurance, you got to train. You can like train this and then go and get better. And yeah, it's something that I just want to get down. And after this competition, I'm feeling really good about it. I came out for the route. I climbed the first few clips pretty efficiently, and it was time for this move. I got there. I set myself up, lined myself up. Did 3 swings. Third one, I was decisive. I said, yeah, I'm going to go on this swing. I went for it straight down, smoothly across the volume, and then jumped up and then straight into it. And then that was the move done. Really, really happy. I was sat there on those 2 holds going, yeah, you've absolutely nailed that. No hesitation, went straight for it. It was nice to nail that move in front of that huge crowd. After the dyno move, there was some really hard moves through the steepest parts of the wall. These moves are really power endurance-y, really draining your forearms. And then 5 or 10 holes later, there was this really hard crux move, which I actually fell off. I had a high toe. I committed for my beater. So I got there, I got the toe up, and the toe wasn't feeling so great, and I was kind of locked in that position. I couldn't really take the toe down. The right handle was really, really bad, which everyone was sort of surprised at after the competition at how bad it was. So I got there and then I went for the move. I came off, but I was decisive with my beater. It was a really awkward and tricky move halfway up the route, and it had a lot of other falls. I think the way that a couple of people did it, like I think the way it was the beater that I was trying, so Serato got the toe up as well, but I'm not sure I twisted enough into it, which sort of didn't give me enough leverage on the toe. So yeah, it's a shame to fall there because I wanted to give a good fight on the route, and I felt I came off without fighting. But yeah, I got there and went straight for it. It's hard because I knew I could have given more on that route, but there's a lot of other people who would be thinking that. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm happy with how my form is, and yeah, looking forward to the next ones. With these routes, there's a lot of different tests. There's mental tests, like you've got the jump, there's physical tests, and falling off there was quite gutting because you always want to give your best on a route. You always want to come down having like really fought, and then yeah, you want to fight hard on a route. And coming down from that, I didn't really feel like I gave like a massive fight. It was enough for 4th place, which you can look at and you can say, oh, it's not a terrible result. But yeah, I really just want to get on these routes and then just give my absolute best. And that's something which I'm really improving at. It's a little bit of execution, a little bit of experience. Yeah, it's definitely improving, and I'm psyched to see how how I go in the next ones. When I finished my round, I was in third with Serato to climb. I wasn't really thinking about the result, I was just thinking about how I was climbing on the route. And then I got to watch him, Serato, on it, which was really cool because he climbed that move really well. And that kind of told me that, oh, it's just a slight bit of beta, just a bit of execution. And then watching him fight up that route and then managing to top it was really awesome. So really psyched for him. Yeah, congrats, Serato. After the competition, men's finished, went into the athlete zone, and then I got to watch the women's final with a lot of the other athletes. We're all there chilling out. It's a really nice vibe. We were right at the front, so got great seats to watch the final with. I sat there with like Serato, a couple of the Japanese guys, the GB guys. Yeah, just a really nice experience. Everyone's so nice in this climbing scene. So just being here with your friends, it's really nice whether the comp goes well or badly. So yeah, thanks to everyone. It's a really nice vibe out here. In terms of takeaways from the competition, it was really good to have that little hiccup, and it helped me keep my mental game sorted. And yeah, it was a good test. So leaving this comp, I'm really happy and excited to get back into training. Going into this competition, there was a few things that I wanted to get sorted. I had like a plan. I wanted to get on this route, get on the routes and execute them. I wanted to learn as much as possible through the rounds, because my last lead competition was the World Championships in Bern. So coming into this, having not a great qualifier, and then learning, and then giving a really good qualifier too, and then having a good semi-final, and then coming out to the finals, and then executing up to where I fell off. This has just been really successful, and I'm happy with how it's gone. So excited for Laval. It's gonna be incredible. There's some good training coming up, and yeah, I'm gonna go and do my best to get this Olympic ticket. It's up for grabs, and I'm going there with a purpose. I'm gonna go and take it by force. Yeah, I'll do my best. It's exciting. Koper has been absolutely amazing. Such a nice place here, really nice competition. I'm hoping to be back next year or whenever the next competition here is. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you enjoyed and got a bit of insight into this comp. Yes, see you in the next one. Should be like maybe a training video, not sure, but yeah, thanks for watching.